Hi, and thanks for watching this episode of Ecosystem TV. Today, I'm joined by Clay Miller, Principal Advisor, Ecosystem. Welcome to your first episode of Ecosystem TV. Thanks very much for joining me.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate your warm welcome.
So, Clay, you and I have known each other for a few years now, but some of our viewers might not have met you before. So, what brings you to the Ecosystem team, and what skills and experiences are you able to offer our clients?
All right. Well, so drawing from my past experience as a CIO, I've had two roles, CIO and the Chief Human Resource Officer. So, I really realize that there's increasing significance in research, consulting, and advisory, especially in this dynamic landscape today. And really, it's the rapid pace of change and innovation that's necessitating both practical and pragmatic guidance for both technology and business leaders. And so, I look forward to contributing to the vital work. Ecosystem has done a great job over the last 7+ years of working with various CXOs throughout the region and the globe. And so I look forward to being part of the team. Chris, if I could share with you, there's kind of three things that are really deep personal motivations for me. And I'm excited to be part of your team and continuing the successes that Ecosystem has had. Secondly, I want to utilize technology to help solve real world business problems. And it's not just technology for technology's sake. It's the CIOs and the next level of IT leaders that are interacting across the organizations with all of the stakeholders. And really, the true measure of success for technology is how to enable this to grow revenue, to innovate, and to bring new products and services to market faster. And then lastly, I want to help nurture those trusted relationships that I've built with CXOs with really pragmatic and helpful advice. This is a relationship business, and it's all built on trust. And so technology leaders today really require trusted advice and counsel, but also someone that's going to stay with them through the execution and implementation of technology.
Absolutely, yeah, and you're right. Building that community and working with that community is very important to us here at Ecosystem as well. That's obviously the name Ecosystem, bringing everyone together. So really look forward to working with you on that. Now, you live a little bit outside of Bangkok, and I know you've lived there for quite some time. So how is your Thai? What specifically about Thailand is it that you find interesting? But also, you're not specifically focused on Thailand, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So I live about an hour and a half northwest of Bangkok. And back in 2012, I started an organic farm in north central area of Thailand. I had an organic farm. And while this was a worthy pursuit, I quickly realized that I'm really a better IT guy than I am a farmer. This was reemphasized on a daily basis. My teenage daughters would remind me that my compost pile was growing faster than any output of fruits and vegetables. So I decided to pivot away from being a farmer and really look at how I use my experience in advisory and consulting. Now, as for my Thai, it's improved, but Pompu Pasa Thai neat noi. I don't speak a lot of Thai, and what bit of Thai I speak is it still needs to continue improving. But I'm a lifelong learner, and I'll keep trying to improve my language skills. And then lastly, your part of the question as it relates to really opportunities in Southeast Asia. And I'm really particularly interested in the prospects of three different countries in Southeast Asia: Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines. There's really promising opportunities across all three of these countries in the areas of digital agriculture, manufacturing, education. And of course, as the emergence of AI continues, and they grow these areas, there's also new possibilities in the areas of tourism and services. I'd also like to note that in this post-pandemic phase, the younger workforce is increasingly inclined towards working more flexible hours and really breaking away from that traditional 9 to 5 office constraint. And so there's expanding possibilities in Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines, where the countries are welcoming these digital nomads to come and work and live and really immerse themselves in this unique Asian culture.
So you've done a lot of work with technology providers as well as with enterprise customers. What would you say have been some of the constants that you have encountered, as well as the surprises that have come up over the last few years?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, there's some exciting technology possibilities like for Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines, but also in a broader perspective across enterprise customers and technology providers. Really, over the last 5 years, my focus has been on banking and financial services, so calling it the BFSI industry. And specifically in the areas of public and private cloud, but also application modernization, and then core technology transformation for banks and insurers. So as banks and insurers are really looking at how do they reinvent themselves, how do they seize new opportunities in the market, they really need to reinvent and transform their core banking systems or core insurance systems. What really excites me about this is the potential of these technologies beyond banking and insurance, but also other industry verticals like manufacturing, digital agriculture, healthcare, and education. There are a lot of prospects of exploring these cross-industry opportunities, and it really is exhilarating.
Well, this is, interesting, and I think no conversation about technology over the last year or so will be complete without talking about AI. And you did mention it earlier, but also, what you've been mentioning about technology modernization, particularly in banking and financial services, and also around Southeast Asia. I mean, what are you seeing the impact?
Yeah, it's an interesting topic, and I think if you're not talking about AI and the impact that it has on society in general, but also as a technology practitioner, how can this really help and aid us in the future? Um, so there's a lot of conversation about that. Now, the reality is we've been working in and around AI for 70 years. I mean, there's been a lot of great work that's been done. But it's really interesting that over the last 12 to 18 months, it's kind of come to the forefront with Chat GPT and OpenAI. The cool thing is that all of the technology vendors are putting a lot of effort and energy into really making this a tangible and useful product. I think the other part of this is that CIOs and IT leaders are really looking at how do they improve their development efforts and development teams. And so more tools that are available across the different platforms, I think it becomes quantifiable. The benefits become quantifiable for how you're going to be able to use AI. The last piece of that is really, people tend to be worried about how is this going to replace my job, or is it going to replace my job? And so, I encourage people, don't be resistant to AI. It's here. It's something that should augment and help us as humans and workers to contribute. So don't resist that. And much like we saw with RPA, robotic process automation, or intelligent automation, while it did replace some mundane and manual tasks, it really freed up resources and people to think at a higher and more strategic level. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that in the next 12 to 18 months.
So you speak to a lot of CIOs, technology and business leaders. Like, are they talking the same thing about AI as the technology vendors are in terms of what they see the future as and what they're looking to utilize AI for?
Yeah, clearly. It's more than just the automation. It's being able to be more predictive. When we think about different roles within the IT organization and in technology delivery, there's kind of different needs within the organization. And while AI may not solve all of those problems, there's a lot of opportunities. As well, for the CIOs that are sitting at the executive table, everyone in the C-suite is talking about this. If we go back, 18 to 24 months, there was the threat. There was, this worry about trust, and I think we've moved past that now. And so, different stakeholders are wanting different things, and it's more than just a problem looking for a solution. It really is. There really are some really cool capabilities and solutions that are emerging.
And the last question I have for you. So you joined us at the end of last year. And at that stage, we had already wrapped up or ecosystem analysts' predictions for 2024. So you didn't get a chance to contribute towards those. And this is your opportunity. What are your predictions for 2024?
Yeah, so I think the area of application modernization is really critically important today. Um, Organizations, depending on which industry you're in across all the different industry verticals, they're really trying to think more strategically about their application portfolios. And as we talk about banks and insurers, they're really trying to transcend these legacy constraints. So, all of these things are going to help organizations be more agile and more responsive. And so application modernization is really about embracing artificial intelligence, the cognitive technologies that come along with that, and then cloud-based solutions. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about how organizations are moving from their private cloud to the public cloud. And I've spent a lot of time over the last 2 or 3 years, and that continues to be a mainstay where people are wanting to move more of those applications and workloads, take advantage of microservices in the cloud, and that'll continue to stay with us for the next 12 to 18 months. Chris, I also have to say that over the next 12 to 18 months, these advances in AI and machine learning, they'll be vital to leveraging scalability and efficiency. So modernization, application modernization specifically is imperative, and it's really going to help to boost responsiveness and efficiency.
Well, thank you very much, Clay. That's all we've got time for today, but it has been a pleasure speaking with you.
Great. Thanks, Chris. I look forward to the work ahead and look forward to continuing the great work that Ecosystem has started. Thank you.
Yes, us too, us too. So Clay's details are on screen. Please feel free to reach out to him if you'd like to learn more. And thanks very much for joining us on Ecosystem TV today.